The Ravender family's bastard child. UrWeeklyWriter. Chapter 1. The Child's Dream. Disclaimer: this work is entirely fiction. Any similarity or same is just a coincidence. I, Abhinath Ravender, the child of a failed father, Sam Ravender, and a loving mother, Lady Sylvia Ravender, had seen my father reduce from glory and prestige to some popular guy in the family, known as the failed child. My great-grandfather, who had failed the trail and could not become the head, had felt humiliation by the elders of the family. Instead, Sam's grandfather's cousin, Austin Ravender, had become the head. Who was so greedy for power and money that he had killed his own son to become the head, and even tried to change the rules of the family so that only his great-grandchild could become the next head, but had failed due to the intervention of the Council of Elders. The council elders of this family were made to keep the power of the patriarch in check and could not become a person who would decreases the status of our family. But as centuries passed, they had become a batch of unlawful yet lawful people who only do opposes things which they find as profitable, unprofitable respectively for themselves instead of the good of the family, resulting in the decline of our family our few centuries, from first position to the 10th position. An utter humiliating occurrence for our family and disgrace to the first patriarch. But during one trip with my family, we got into a car accident, saved by my grandfather. Loyal subjects who were closely monitoring my father only managed to save me in that accident. I had gone into coma for 1 year, and when I woke up at the age of 11, I had already forgotten the horrors of that night. My grandfather told me what had happened slowly, that my parents died in the accident, and I was the sole survivor of the convoy. Sam, seeing his grandfather fail, had tried his best to live up to his family's expectation but had failed as his capabilities were not fully recognized and were downplayed by the head. Still, my father, being kind-hearted, had only ignored it to peruse a peaceful life leading. But later in the investigation, we found that it was in fact a planned murder by Austin Ravender, but due to no proof and the power of the family head being of immense, we cannot do anything. Hearing grandfather's words, I had forgotten about my weakness of getting out of coma after 1 year and started crying, and soon consumed by anger and the will to make those who made him suffer pay with more than just a life. Taking this vow, I started recovering quicker than the doctor's anticipation and was ready to be discharged in just a month. The doctors, though, it was a miracle that I had recovered so quickly, yet they also understood realistically the big part was my will and hard work that I had put in. No matter the pain or weakness, I had followed the doc's instructions to the end, which majority of people are not able to. The first thing he asked me was, "What do you want to do in life?" When I arrived at my grandfather's estate, I was summoned to his chamber, an elegant, spacious room with book and advance monitors all over, viewing continuous stock fluctuations and share prices of all owned business by him. I replied, "I want to become powerful enough that no one, I mean no one, ever dare to harm any one of my family or friends in that matter. To do that, I will have to become the head and choose to inherit the house's business." Grandfather: So you to have to take the test. Talked to himself quietly. All right then, from tomorrow onwards, I will assign people to train you so that you can become the head. Just remember, I small advice, if I ever find your will getting weaker or you slacking off, I will personally strip all of your wishes and make sure you can never become the head. I replied, "Sir, I will do the best of my abilities, surpass them, and make you proud grandfather." Grandfather: Remember one thing, child. Now what you will face is nothing more than hell on earth. The knowledge you weren't able to take in the past year and the studies of the next 15 years will be completed in the next 4 years. If you are able to do this, then you will barely be qualified for the head examination which will come when you turn 15. Be prepared, grandson. You may now leave. The instructors will meet you tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. I replied, "Yes, sir, I will be ready on time. Thank you for your guidance. I will try my best to make you proud grandfather." Then I left the study and went to sleep. Chapter 2. The Preparations. When I awoke this morning, I was filled with anticipation. With fiery eyes and a heart of steel, I made my way to the family's S-rank training grounds, an exclusive domain reserved for the head, my grandfather, and his direct descendant, myself. The term head refers to our branch family, meaning my grandfather, while family head signifies the leader of the Ravender family. Upon my arrival, I discovered a middle-aged man slumbering peacefully, seemingly devoid of any worldly concerns. I approached him and with a commanding tone inquired, "Are you my instructor?" He slowly opened his eyes, and upon recognizing my face adorned with the insignia of my family on the pocket of my shirt, he instantly comprehended that I was Abhinath. As soon as the realization dawned upon him, his drowsiness evaporated. He rose to his feet, offering a slight bow, not a full 45 degrees, with his hands resting on his chest, and proclaimed, "Young master, I shall be your instructor until the conclusion of your training, which coincides with the upcoming ceremony." He continued, "I am Raghav Surya Comet, more commonly known as Whirlkill, sir, a member of the Eastern Guardians tasked with external affairs. The Eastern Guardians represent one of the three most formidable knightly orders in our nation, situated in the far eastern borderlands of this continent. It is also one of the most powerful nations on the continent. Whirlkill. Sir, a retired commander of the 5th Division of the Eastern Guardians, which comprises 25 divisions, ceased active duty due to a series of misleading information and false accusations propagated by the 2nd and 3rd Divisions. He had also lost one eye in a prior battle, rendering him deemed unfit for service, despite the presence of numerous one-eyed individuals on the front lines. It can be inferred that someone harboring a grudge against him orchestrated this conspiracy to force his departure from the position. Our family, indifferent to his plight, chose not to aid him in regaining his former status. Instead, we provided him with financial support to prepare me for the impending ceremony." Raghav further stated, "I shall impart to you all that you may or may not require to the best of my capabilities. However, the extent to which you grasp and apply this knowledge according to your own volition will ultimately rest in your hands. Before we embark on this journey, allow me to provide you with a succinct overview of the challenges that lie ahead in your quest to ascend to the position of head of the family. Our lineage is governed by a distinct set of protocols regarding the inheritance of our family's enterprise, valued in trillions of sins. The primary stipulation is that you must successfully complete a remarkably straightforward task, which will be assigned by the Council of Elders within our family. This task is administered biennially, coinciding with the 15th or 16th birthday of each child in our family. Consequently, the options presented to you and your peers will become available 4 years from now. Out of 8 children eligible for this task, historical trends indicate that 5 will aspire to become the head, thereby positioning themselves as your competitors. Among these contenders, 2 individuals stand out due to their exceptional talents. Spark Killer Ravender. Specialization, martial arts and mafia management. He oversees an assassination group known as the Blood Cravers. Emma Ravender. Specialization, healing magic. She manages a network of hospitals across the continent called Advance World. Notably, her hospital initiative operates independently from the family business to aid her in her trials. In fact, your father has established a company for you to lead, a fact known only to me and a select few of your father's and grandfather's most trusted advisors, in a hushed tone. However, in my estimation, you currently lack the requisite knowledge and experience. Therefore, over the next few years, I shall prepare you to become the quintessential hunting dog, equipped to navigate the trials and outmaneuver your competitors, your very own siblings. I extend a formal welcome to you, Abhinath Ravender, as you enter the race to claim the mantle of head of the family. He commenced an exhaustive regimen of training, often sacrificing sleep, sometimes as little as 2 hours or even a mere 30 minutes, while maintaining an intensity so elevated that it was a challenge even for him to sustain. Yet, the caliber of the training remained impeccable, unwavering even for a moment. He immersed himself in the study of finance, management, history, geography, the unique attributes of each continent, their kingdoms, sects, leaders, heirs, including those of illegitimate lineage, as well as the martial arts, magic, and many other disciplines. Soon, 4 years elapsed, and in the month of June, the moment arrived to depart for the family head's estate. Thank you. Next chapters will be told as soon as new chapters are available.